that one George Michael song? No, absolutely not. It's not allowed. I've reached my quota. There is. Eventually, I'm just gonna reach insanity.
Oh, here's a cup.
I can take off all these neck straps.
We're all the hosts.
I don't want someone interrogating us.
We're all the moderator. No, I thought we'd just have a fist fight and see how it works out. No? Okay. This is not. What time is it? This has started.
Yeah.
We started apparently.
Yeah. Do we have the rest of our people?
Where's Halos Voss?
Oh, that's right.
He's not important. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Los. Hey.
Hey.
Foss.
Hey, Foss.
Boss?
Hey, Los Foss. Hey, come right on in. Sit down. Have a seat.
Think he's actually there?
What?
Think he's actually there?
Hey, Los Foss.
Right at the door.
Hey, Los Foss.
Hey. Psst.
He's not out there. Why would he be out there?
I don't know. Who wants to be Halos Foss?
He would just come in. Come on. No, sit down.
You're ready
No,
for that
not
one.
really. I'm the closest. Well, yeah, actually, I think I am the closest in here. Like,
You already said it, Everfree. He's like, yeah, I'm cosplaying as Michelle Freeman.
he, if you,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, if you walk behind him with like, and he's wearing the fedora and all that, you'll think he's Michelle Craven. Like, exactly.
Thank you guys so much for coming to our panel today. We represent the Musiquestria Cross Country Road Tour, music tour this happened this summer between Everfree Northwest and BronyCAN.
And beyond.
And then beyond.
Yes.
All of our love. I think a good start would be to introduce all of ourselves so the lovely audience knows who we are. I suppose I will start since I am currently talking to the mic. I am Bajati. I am one of the road managers for Musiquestria. I have also ran events such as Everfree Northwest, Northwest Brony Fest, and other small local events in the Pacific Northwest. And recently became a musician. Recently became an actual musician.
True. My name is Austin. I was going to make the joke. His name's Austin. I was
My
going to make
name's
the
Austin.
joke, but then I realized he didn't say that his name is Austin.
Yeah.
My name is Austin. I was the tour manager of Musiquestria, and I do a lot of other things too, but I'm not going to talk about that.
I'm Sax Brony. I was kind of pulled into Musiquestria in an very unofficial sense, but I make Brony music. I've been playing saxophone for about 8 years, and so that was kind of the, most logical point to start making music. So I just make saxophone covers, basically.
My name is Silvahound,
Wait, Silver.
and I couldn't make it to BronyCAN, but no, my name is Don DeVore, and I drove 10,500 miles and played a bunch of fun shows on the Musiquestria tour. So
Then did you drive 1,000 more just to be the man to fall down at your door?
I did, indeed. And I've been making pony music since 2011, shortly after becoming a Brony. Had a few songs on Seeds of Kindness and a few other charity albums. The Brony documentary, which we watched, some people watched in the other room, the main hall, and put on some shows with Everfree in Seattle, Elements of Melody. I produced a show called Elements of Melody, Music of Everfree, which Ian was a part of here, Sax Brony was a part of. And of course, did a lot of driving and playing music on Musiquestria tours. So I can answer all kinds of questions about, what it's like to drive 10,500 miles
With a big
and play
trailer
pony
attached to your
music.
car going 55 miles an hour.
Yeah, 30 miles
all
an hour
freeways.
up mountain passes.
So yeah, today we're going to talk about pretty much everything tour related, what we did this past year, all the road bumps,
All the flat tires.
and the highlights of the tour, our plans for next year, and we will take audience questions if you guys have any. And yeah, we'll just go the conversation from there and see where it goes.
Why don't you start by telling everybody how you pulled us all onto this thing. You started this.
Yeah,
crazy
after the first Everfree, I really kind of just wanted to do something crazy with the pony music scene. My first thought was to have a label, a pony music label, which I think actually someone is doing now.
I don't
Maybe.
know.
I don't know if you've heard anything.
A
Anyway,
label or a talent agency?
an
I'm doing that.
actual. Well, you're doing that anyway.
Okay.
Registered the Musiquestria domains pretty quickly there, and didn't do anything with them for a few months. It wasn't until Las Pegasus Unicon that I started to actually gather people who were interested in doing a tour.
Snickers.
Yeah, so it's like Silva, Tarby, Pony1 Kenobi jumped on first. We pulled eventually.
There's a
Scared
lot
me.
on that.
Don, of course, Fenning and Automatic Jack. Eventually pulled in Nathan as our sound tech. I probably forgot a musician or two because that's not 10.
I always forget one musician. Always when I'm doing
Replacer.
Oh,
Replacer, right.
Well, that came in a lot later, which was fantastic. We got Replacer from New Zealand. Yeah, it was such a joy having him on tour.
Yeah,
he's a quiet kid, but hilarious.
You get a few drinks in him and he opens up, though.
It was a completely sober tour. Didn't do anything wrong.
PR. No drinking on this.
Just
tour.
like
no-
this is a
there's no-
completely sober con.
Yeah.
100% PG tour.
Yeah, our initial goal was to go to as many cities as we could go to through crowdfunding with the community. Our lower limit, secretly our lower limit was $10,000, but we aimed for $15,000. Ended up getting 10, so that was good. We still ended up having to pull a lot of shows out of our schedule, though.
Yeah, I
and-
mean, when I said the lower limit was 15, I had that planned with 8 shows.
Yeah.
Even though we were advertising 25. But we were also advertising 25 where if we had more money, we would do more shows.
Yeah.
Or more of the 25.
Yeah, we knew from the start that it would be a lot of community support that would get this rolling. So if people didn't seem that interested, or we couldn't get the word out fast enough, or people didn't donate enough services to us, then it wouldn't be as big of a tour. Luckily, we ended up still going across the entire country. Maybe we shouldn't have, but we tried.
So we started with an Indiegogo campaign. What did we get in the first day?
I think the first day we pulled in.
Like, I don't know if it
They
was.
went to 4K.
I don't know if it was 4 or 6. I had both of those in my head.
I think we went to 4,
Okay.
which is impressive for day one.
Right. So then maybe like we got up to 6, and then you guys did your live show.
but
You
then
got it up to 10.
We did a 24-hour live stream show on Mike the
Which almost
Microphone's
killed you.
Lives. Yeah, it was actually turned out to be 30 hours long of a 24-hour live stream show. So you do the math on that. But Jody and Tarby and I stayed awake the entire time and did this live stream show. And
I thought
we
I
ended up
saw
raising
Austin
over
sleeping in the
4,000.
background.
I accidentally fell asleep for 20 minutes. I'm sorry.
Cheater.
I was watching it and I saw him fall asleep.
You let me lay down.
So yeah, we ended up raising about 4,000 just on the
Yeah, just on the 24-hour live
the live
stream.
stream show. Yeah, so we had a pretty big audience using Mike the Microphone's channel, of course. So it's having a built-in audience right there.
We raised $400.
But you had such a good plan for that live stream that I don't know how you couldn't have raised.
Yeah,
That
and
we
and we even did some of
blew
the
my
stuff that
mind.
was in my plan. Too.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
My favorite part
We set
is-
things on fire. We sang songs. we read fanfics we probably shouldn't have out loud.
You watched your first episode of Friendship is
Yeah, we
Witchcraft?
watched every episode of Friendship is Magic, just entertaining people
Yeah,
on the
live
internet.
sketch streams from Tetra Pony,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did
One of
live
our-
streaming.
That was cool.
one of our artists. Yeah, the Friendship is Witchcraft. The great thing is that actually raises about like $400. We marathoned 4 or 5 of the episodes of that, and people would just go like, "Yeah, play more."
Yeah,
Play
just keep
this.
going.
Well, okay.
Play this, we're tired. We don't want to have to pay attention anymore.
That was fun.
Yeah, so that was the end of our fundraising campaign, just trying to, raise as much money as possible to make the tour happen. And then we had to learn a bunch of songs. I could tell you guys about that. I was
Yeah,
the
you
keyboard player for most of the acts, for Pony1 Kenobi, for Dylan, for Tarby, and for Replacer. And I also did my own music, of course. And so collectively, we learned about 50 different songs that are original songs from Pony1 Kenobi, from Tarby, from Replacer, and with Automatic Jack playing drums. And that guy's an amazing drummer. And we put together basically a 6-piece band of original Brony music, and people who know us across the country came out to see us, and it was great. You know, we had a great time
Yeah.
playing. But we spent about 2 months rehearsing, learning the songs, figuring out parts, and putting a show together. You know, and before we actually went out on the road, so there was a lot of pre-planning and preparation that went into that part of it.
I'm kind of curious, who in this room actually saw any of our shows? Anyone? There you go. All right. Yeah. It wasn't the biggest showings in the world, but I was surprised that we managed to pull in like 30 to 60 people for most of the shows of our tour.
Our highest number was in Portland. We had 64 people in Portland.
And that was tricky too because that wasn't exactly the biggest venue.
No.
We played in a restaurant
Yeah.
in the upstairs, which is very small. I didn't necessarily expect a lot of people in a lot of the places, so I was aiming for like 60 to 100 people venues. We crammed 64 people into that, not including us and
the
which
instruments.
we were
Here
11
and-
of us, and not including the opening acts and not including the staff of the restaurant. So there were about 100 people in that building, and 60 of them were jumping
Yeah, we shoved most of them up on the top floor. And
on the top floor.
Yeah, that was fun.
I called the Red Coach the next month to do another event, and she said, no jumping this time. And she said, my husband's 60, you know. So,
Yeah, because we actually broke some stuff there.
well, we only broke the lamp, but they were
Yeah.
fine with it.
we broke one of the ceiling.
Yeah, we were
fixtures.
okay. We were
Oh,
okay.
the last second, too.
At the last second loadout, we
Yeah,
broke.
like the last thing we're pulling out of the room,
Yeah.
just like, no.
You know, when we were looking for places to stay along the trip too, when we would go from like Albuquerque to Houston, or from Houston to wherever the next town we were going to, we would usually try to find a couch to sleep on, or a friend to stay with, apartments to stay in, and but we have to warn people. You have to let them know we're going to come to your house, we're going to break stuff, we're going to destroy your toilet, and is that okay?
I tried my
Come
best.
hang
Tried
out
my
for a
best to
while.
warn them.
So, we just wanted to be honest and let them know what they're getting into.
Do you want to talk about Portland a little bit? Since
The Portland show?
Since you are unique to only Portland.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So I got invited by Tarby to play some music for his set and then maybe help out with other people's sets too for the Portland show. And he told me about this at Everfree, which was like 3 days before the Portland
Yep.
show.
Was it 3 days? It was like 2 days.
Okay, it might have been 2 days. Yeah. He told me at Everfree, he just said, "Hey, you want to come play, on for us at the Portland show?" And I was like, "Yeah, when is it?" And he goes, "It's Tuesday." And I was like,
Tomorrow.
"You mean like Tuesday is in like next week Tuesday, or is in like 2 days from now Tuesday?" And yeah, so that was kind of crazy having to get tickets for that and getting down there, but I'm really glad I did because that was a really fun show in a really fun venue with a really fun crowd.
The Portland show was like one of our coolest shows that I was at.
think so, too, yeah.
I'm
Because
glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear I was at one of the better ones.
and one of the reasons was there were so many people and so much energy. But
Oh, yeah.
the other reason is that you were jumping on everybody's set, and that was great.
Oh yeah, no, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me hop in.
No,
on
of
yours, by the
course.
way.
Thank
That
you
was-
for joining.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. I think Tarby, I played sax with him on way back in what was that? The Last Elements of Melody, and he really liked it, and I'm not entirely sure why, but I mean, yeah, but.
It's a cool instrument.
You got some
I find.
skills, man.
It's like
Yeah, and you're a
unique
good player.
to rock.
So, I mean, yeah, you're a good improviser, which
That-
not everybody can do.
Yeah, that comes in handy when you go up to you show up to an event and someone says, "Hey, you want to play sax on a song that I'm doing?" and I'm like, "Yeah, what's the key?"
It's a good thing you're good at it. Otherwise,
It's kind of a useful skill to have to be able to know all your keys and all that. But that being said, I did have some oopsies, but luckily I wasn't mic'd, so you can't really tell when you're listening back to it. But at the same time, anyone who was in the venue could still hear me, and that was it's like the best of both worlds. You don't get to hear your mess ups over and over and over again, but people in the audience still heard you. But no, and that was like definitely one of the coolest gigs I've ever done. Just like I said, because of the crowd, the venue, and who I was playing with. It was,
Yeah, the kind of music we're doing. And stuff.
oh yeah, absolutely. it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, the fun thing, I think that was the first gig I've ever done.
That was the first show.
So
yeah.
that was my first show, and you played on
First
it.
show
so
ever.
thank you.
Could have fooled me.
That was the first show ever.
Yeah, I think I played like a Jonathan Colton song at a camp when I was, I don't know.
Well, dude, I gotta say, you're the style of guitar you play, especially on like Proud to Be a Brony and your original, what was that called?
Drown in Indigo is the one that you played
Yeah,
on, and
you're-
Fly is what I finished up with.
Yeah, just your style of playing guitar. I fell in love with it.
Yeah,
It's-
thanks so much.
It's really awesome. But yeah, so ego stroking aside,
Yeah, if you want to look up my stuff, Bajati Games, SoundCloud, Bajati. No.
saxbrony.com or saxbrony on youtube.com. Thank you very much.
Don, you're not gonna pimp yourself? Come on.
Pimpin'
What's that?
out.
Everybody's pimping themselves except you.
Pony Don. Look for his music.
how do they
Yeah, I
do
did
it?
that
Really
earlier at like
good.
3 shows during this convention. So
That's
Yeah,
true.
he's,
Yeah,
he's,
no,
he's
I-
done enough of it all.
I just use my real name, Don DeVore, because it's different and
You
nobody
want
does
to see
it.
my music? Then you can, no, I don't have any music.
And I have SoundCloud and YouTube and all that
Good
kind of fun
music
stuff.
library.
Bandcamp.
That's true.
So we could keep talking about random fun stories that we can think of off the top of our heads, or kind of veer more towards the technical side of running a tour, or ideas for last year. What do you guys want? What's your preference?
What do you want?
Fun
Yeah,
goofiness? More
goofiness.
fun and goofiness? That sounds good for
Can
relaxing
somebody,
at the end of the day.
can somebody, if not reenact, at least give people a good idea of the beginning of Automatic Jack's set?
Does anyone have
the
that
2001 Space Odyssey.
I don't think words can describe it.
I
really.
know. I came up the stairs in Portland the first night he did it, and what is this? What is the song that he plays to it?
But I don't know.
It's one of his songs.
Yeah.
But it's
Is it?
the theme is 2001 Space Odyssey, and it
Yeah.
starts off. Da, 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 da,
And he holds up-
dum, 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 and it's just the whole.
And he holds up Twist.
And it's Twist. His favorite pony is Twist. So.
And I ran up the stairs because it was too loud.
And then he drops.
Then you
the
realized
bass.
it was too epic.
And
Yeah,
then he
but then I
drops the
realized
bass, and it's
It
so
was
amazing.
too much for me. too much.
It was definitely the Twist dubstep.
It was
show
amazing.
with Jack. Yeah, I loved it.
And I
was
should
the
have been
question?
prepared for
Austin, why don't you talk about? Well, Don, why don't you talk about the trailer first, and then Austin can talk about the tire in the spaceship.
Yeah.
fun
I
story.
drive a Saturn View. You guys familiar with the company Saturn SUVs that they made? It's a 4-cylinder, and it's not designed to tow, but it did.
Yeah,
It towed a 5x8 trailer with thousands and thousands of gear, thousands of pounds,
Thousands of gear.
thousands of
of
gears,
gear.
thousands of pounds of gear, and
Only 4 cylinders.
up and
with a
down mountains.
Crap load of gears.
And I was really surprised that it made it, but yeah, it was a learning experience driving a trailer through like Midtown Manhattan.
I am very happy to see
Boston.
you right now. Like I thought you wouldn't make it back.
I'm glad you got
Yeah,
back
I
to
almost
Seattle.
didn't.
I'm very glad that you did.
Still need to talk to you about that, but
But that wasn't the only problem we had on the tour. Actually, there's quite a bit of them, but the other big one was on our way to, I think it was
we
Asheville,
were
North
8
Carolina.
miles, or you guys were 8 miles from Asheville.
We had, just to put this into context, we had 2 vehicles because we were meant to get a van, but then all the vans were sold out. So we put a trailer hitch on Don's vehicle, and then we also rented 2013 Chevy Traverse, which is a 7-passenger and should not hold 7 people.
It's a 7-passenger, but really it's
passenger.
like it's a 4-passenger and 3 kids.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, we solved it, but not in the best way.
We put non-kids in the kids' seats. It was very uncomfortable. And there's a lot of anger. So we were driving that around, and when we hit New Orleans, there's poor roads down there. If anyone's been through Texas, New Orleans,
Welcome.
The road conditions aren't quite as you'd see up here. And that, on top of managing to hit a couple curbs, we saw the emergency light come on the dashboard. It said that the rear right tire is low. We kind of sat it for a couple days, and finally, when we had some time, 'cause there's not a lot of time in this tour, went and filled it back up to whatever it's supposed to be, I guess. One more day, the light was back on.
That sounds reassuring. Whatever it's supposed to be.
Whatever.
I'm not sure what it's
I
supposed to
didn't.
be.
I wasn't.
120,
matter.
121, whatever it takes.
I wasn't there
whatever
to
it is.
fill it up, but it
Okay.
filled back with air. Yeah. Next couple days, light came back on. We chose to ignore it.
Good idea.
Probably not a good idea.
That was a bad career move on your part.
But the car lasted another like 2,000 miles or something. The thing is, it said the tire was like flat or getting low, but you looked at it and it didn't. It couldn't. It wasn't. It wasn't.
It looked fine.
It
You
looked
couldn't tell.
perfect.
2,000 miles later, blow.
Yeah. So we get over to North Carolina. Luckily, we actually get into the city, and these guys think I'm screwing with them because these guys, none of them were here in the car.
Yeah. The other car.
The other guys that are filling this car thought I was just drove over onto the rumble pad on like the side of the highway to mess with them. They're like, okay, Bajati, stop. Okay, we get it. Well, shut up. Jeez. I'm like, I think this is an actual problem, guys.
Real talk. Real talk.
I think we have a real talk.
Real talk.
Tires flat.
It definitely. So we
The truest piece of real talk there was.
Oh my god.
realest
So we jumped out the
the
next
realest
exit.
of all the
Luckily,
talk.
we're 8 minutes to our destination. Thank goodness. Also, everyone jumped out. See, because they're stuck in this hot car, stuffed to the brim with suitcases and added equipment every day.
Everyone hates each other.
Yeah, everyone hates each other, having the worst possible time. But as soon as the tire goes flat and we pull over to the side of the road, they all hop out and everyone works together and puts a new one back, or the donut on the car back on, so we can get to our destination. Everyone just works together and they're in a good mood. It's weird.
Yeah,
I'm really creeped out.
When it comes to gig pressure, people will like do they'll manage surprising feats to get to the
step
gig.
up to
yeah,
it. Yeah,
because that's a large
Perhaps.
amount of pressure.
Pony up.
No,
Maybe not.
Race
nah.
Probably not.
Oh, goodness. That's a fun story.
It is a fun story.
So Equestria Girls came out.
Oh yeah.
When
July 16th.
Yeah, so it came out.
I remember.
No, it was
the date.
June 16th.
It came out a month before
We
the tour.
saw it on the last day that it
But-
showed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, because of all the events that I run up in Seattle, and I know some of these people had a similar problem, I never made the Seattle show of Equestria Girls, couldn't make it up here to Vancouver, and I couldn't make it down to Portland, and all those shows are gone. So I'm just like, I'm gonna wait until it's out on Blu-ray. I'm not gonna look at the stupid rips online. I'm gonna watch it on a big screen. It's gonna happen. We get down to, where were we?
In
We were down
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
We saw it in
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Okay. So that's a surprise. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was a
didn't get that at
segue,
first.
but he didn't get it.
I didn't catch on. Yeah, we get down to Phoenix, and we realized when we get there that night that they're still showing it, or now showing it there. So it has to happen. We have the perfect amount of time before our show, or before we have to drive, or
So
whatever.
we
the time
call
is
the movie theater. Was it the night
There's-
before or the day of?
The day of.
The day of, we called them and said, "You guys are screening this." They're like, "Yeah, we're screening it."
Yeah, and we get up early, and I'm thinking, you know what? I don't want to risk this because it isn't.
Austin P1K and I got up early
Yeah.
to go to buy tickets for everyone.
Because I'm not gonna take any prisoners with this. I'm gonna see this
No
movie
risks.
for sure.
No risks.
Because I know that if it's not here, then we have to drive about 40 minutes to go see it.
Yeah. We get there
Well,
at
do you want to continue?
8:50? I thought I was helping.
Maybe.
I'm not helping. You go.
Okay.
You tell the story.
I don't know. Unless I'm bad at
Tell
it.
the whole story.
Yeah. So we get to the movie theater, who says that they have tickets for sure. We get there, and they're not open yet. And one of their workers walks by and really doesn't know what he's doing. He says to go inside and make sure for us that it is indeed showing. He comes back and says, "Yes, it's showing." We're like, "Were you sure?" He says, "I asked the manager.
I was
It's
quite
definitely-
adamant. He
it's
went back
definitely,
twice.
Yeah, it's
Not
definitely
once,
showing.
twice.
So then
Definitely
we
showing.
sit around waiting for it to open up, and
It's
I notice
not on the marquee.
It's not on the marquee. It's not on their reader board. It's not on the ticket booth. So we're kind of freaking out.
But it was online. It was listed online.
It was listed It was listed online. It was not listed on the marquee
Huh.
or the ticket seller machine. So I went back and asked him again. Are you sure? Because it's not anywhere. How do I buy tickets? He's like, you just have to wait until 9.
Yeah. So they open at 9. The show is actually at 9:30, and the same goes for the one that's in this other city called Surprise, 40 minutes away.
And so we go to the ticket booth at 9, and I go, I'll take 10 tickets for Equestria Girls.
And he's like,
And he went, it's not playing. I went, excuse me? And he's like, it's not playing. I'm like, I spoke to someone. They told me it was playing. He's like, yeah, that was a misunderstanding. It's not playing. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So we get in the car.
I'll continue from there.
Go ahead.
So we're all furious. We get in the car. It's a 40-minute drive to Surprise, Arizona, to see the other screening. And we are half hour out. So we're furious. I call people on the road saying, like, get things packed up. I'm picking you up. We are going to surprise Arizona
I've
in
never
a half hour.
seen-
We have to see this movie.
I've never seen the trailer and the Saturn view move that fast in my life.
It was
Yeah.
amazing. I don't know how we
I don't know how.
typically
Like driving around on the tour, the trailer with my car, I was doing about 60 miles an hour. On the way to the movie, I was doing about 80. I didn't want to be late. I didn't want to miss the first.
It was a 50-minute drive, I think, or 45.
Like a 40-minute drive we did in a half
We
hour.
made it in 30 minutes. They made it in, what, 40?
Yeah.
35, 40? We got in, and they made it like 10 minutes after us.
Yeah, it didn't.
Just after the
That
movie
was the
started. So we all
fastest I
made
think I
it.
drove on that tour.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I
I
actually
that movie.
I missed most of the pony beginning, I think.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah,
missed
just
a
the very
couple
beginning.
seconds of it, too, right?
Yeah.
Cool movie though.
Is that a fun
great.
story? Sound like
I
a fun
liked it.
story.
Okay, so I take back what I said. The pressure of getting to a gig on time is seconded only to getting to ponies on time.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the
And
most
that-
important thing, okay?
But after that, like, that was like our first kind of tour lull where everybody was like, I hate doing this.
Yeah.
And then after Equestria Girls, everybody's like, all right, we're going to keep
Yeah,
going.
it totally
Everything's gonna be
recharged
awesome."
It was fantastic.
Totally
Reminded
did.
us
Yes.
why we were doing what we were
Yeah.
doing after driving across the desert in 115 degrees.
That'll
And
kind of suck the
Yeah, it was
inspiration out
really,
of
the
you.
morale was low. But then the movie, when we saw Equestria Girls, it really reminded us why we were doing this.
Yeah, there's nothing
And,
like going in the blistering heat, going into the cold movie theater
yeah.
to see Equestria Girls for the first time with 10 other guys on a My Little Pony cross-country music tour in like the third row or wherever we were. And it was
Yeah.
it was the
I
best
mean, I guess
thing.
it probably kind of actually reminded you guys that you're doing a cross America tour. What country am I in? A cross America tour because of ponies. People
Yeah.
come to see you because of ponies. People know about you because of this
I
show.
came to Canada for the first time in my life because
Because of ponies.
of small horses.
Why?
I know, it's the most bizarre thing. My life, I love it.
There's some sort of full circle
What is
thing
my
there
life?
somewhere.
It boggles my mind for sure, but I'm sure it boggles your mind just way more. Maybe not.
Nah.
Potentially.
Eh.
It's
You guys are
normal.
all used
Maybe you
to
haven't
it.
sat and thought about it for long enough.
Maybe.
We could talk.
Do you guys have any
Houston.
questions?
Yeah, where
for
else did we
us?
go?
Houston is kind of a fun thing.
We should talk
Houston.
about Houston.
Talk about
Let's
Houston.
talk about Albuquerque.
Albuquerque was
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
That was a fun show.
I don't know if there's a lot of story to it, but it was my favorite show of the entire tour.
Yeah.
I got a
was that
phone
one.
call in Portland from Albuquerque, not from the state, but from some bronies there. And they were like, we bought you a venue. Come play here, please. I'm Canadian. I don't know geography very well. I know geography very well, not American state geography or the sheer distance between things in America. Because like all of our distances are like, oh, Vancouver to Calgary, like that's 16 hours or whatever. Like, so everything's far. But in America, I didn't really realize it. So I was like, sure, we'll come. We had to leave. Where did we have to leave? Phoenix?
Yeah, we left Phoenix and drove all night long to get to Albuquerque. Did a show in Albuquerque. A great show. Great bunch
No,
of
wait,
bronies
it was
there.
It was
you left,
from Albuquerque.
You left Albuquerque and drove straight to
No.
Houston.
We went
right?
from Phoenix, did a show, in a really hot show, and then drove all night to do
It
a
goes
show the next day in Albuquerque,
Arizona,
and then
New
drove
Mexico,
the next
Texas.
night all the way 17 hours to Houston,
and
did a
just
show,
made it for the show.
then got to take showers and change clothes.
Yeah, the cool thing about
Just then.
Three shows in a row, 2,000 miles,
The cool thing about
because
the-
we
the-
love ponies.
the great thing about the drive
And
to Houston.
because I suck at geography.
The great thing about this drive to Houston is that we're thinking like, okay, so a show in Albuquerque one night, show in Houston the next night. Cool. Hop a state, play another show. It's efficient, whatever. None of us realized that the drive from Albuquerque to Houston in a good car going 10 over the speed limit or whatever you do on highways these
14
days.
hours.
13 to 14 hours, like 13 and a half.
17 hours straight through.
I'm glad that none of you realized that, not
Our
just me.
load-in time at Houston was about 5 p.m., I think. And our show ended in Albuquerque at around midnight. So midnight,
you can do
load
math-
out, leave at 1 a.m., need to get there by 5 p.m. That is the 14 hours.
That's it. That's all
You
you
only
got.
have like you
And
can't even
Dawn's
stop.
car can't go that fast.
Yeah, that's you can't go highway speeds
Needless
with
to
a
say, we
trailer.
were late for Houston.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
late. We had to marathon, sleep in the car, no stops, just go the whole time.
But didn't Albuquerque help you guys drive too?
They offered.
They offered to. They were amazing. They offered
Yeah,
to
between, like,
rent us
Phoenix and
cars and
They-
drive us.
places
They-
were-
they
Yeah,
really
they,
wanted to
they
use
got
a lot
us.
of that.
They got us motel rooms, but we couldn't use them because we had to leave immediately.
Yeah.
So we went there to. Some of us showered, but you had to get. I'm sorry, you had to need to leave earlier than us.
Yeah, we had to take off
Sucks.
as soon as possible for that to get
Yeah.
to Houston on time.
But you got to shower in Houston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of forget about how big Texas is too. Like you don't really think about it, but man, you can drive for like days and still be in
Well,
Texas.
I-
Basically,
Yeah,
don't
I
know
grew up
about
in
the
Texas, so
rest
I know
of-
all about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about the rest of the Canadians in this room, but I tend to think that states are fairly close together because they're so much smaller than provinces. So I just think if that's next to that, then it's close. But it's actually,
then there's Texas.
when you get down there, it's actually quite vast.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it the way that Dietz likes to say it, but so you have the width of America, which is approximately the width of Canada from that, because that's
Yep.
how that works. And of the southern states, Texas is a third of the width of the country.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't think, like, no, it can't be true. And you look at a map, like, whoa,
Yeah, yeah.
it is.
Texas is big.
It's most of the
Everything's bigger in Texas.
It's a third of the width. So we play in a state, then you go all the way through Texas in 2 days to play another show in. Actually, we might have it one. No, we had an extra day, or like
We had a lot of time
4.
after Houston.
We had like
because-
5 extra days.
Yeah.
Now talk about Houston.
We went to this great beach party on the beach, and they had lasers and a tent and barbecue and
Yeah.
girls in bikinis and
The great thing is that
swimming
that
in the
wasn't-
water.
And that wasn't even our show. We played a show in Houston, and we had
I
like.
didn't want to talk about the Houston show though.
There wasn't that many people.
Well,
at
I'm
it,
just. I'm putting it.
You see what I'm doing? You see I'm skirting.
I'm
around.
putting it in.
Context.
I'm putting it.
What's that?
I'm putting it to contrast. I'm not going to talk about in length of the show. It was my worst show too. A lot of people didn't have a great time, but yeah, maybe like it was 14 people came or something, and we knew all of them
Yeah,
at a
most of them
time.
are my
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
It was mostly Don's family at the Houston show.
there.
And then they had this epic beach
So
party.
and we didn't realize when we got
After.
there that we didn't even have enough space for everyone to sleep that night. So it was all sort of bad, all sorts of a mess. But I luckily found a friend in Houston that also could offer us a lot of space. So we stayed there a night, and then that night I think it was in Houston we decided about Chicago, right?
Oh yeah, we canceled the Chicago show
we had
because
6
it's too
people.
far to drive.
We had
Yeah,
6
that
people who got tickets for our Chicago show,
Yeah,
and with the drive up, the way it ended
Yeah,
up being a
originally
bad-
when we planned it, it was kind of like a W, like that, sort of.
Yeah,
It was going to be shown like
makes
St.
sense.
Louis and Chicago and Indianapolis.
Yeah, we
and
were gonna
stuff.
have more shows up here, but the only show up here was Chicago, so we decided on the tour that we would cancel Chicago and just stay down there and kind of do like a little like.
which
a
gained
smaller
us,
W.
Which gained us like 5 days with nothing really to do. So after that first night that we
Which was
stayed in
probably
Houston,
nice.
we asked our hosts like, so I know that when we asked for a day that was really last minute, is there a possibility we can stay for like 2 or 3 more nights?
Or 5.
And they were so great, like gracious to us. So is that the right
Yeah,
way?
we experienced a lot of generosity, I think, out there on the road.
Yeah,
People
Bronies
buying us
are
hotel
so
rooms,
willing.
people
Seriously.
taking care of us, feeding us and stuff, and just helping make it happen. Because otherwise, it
Yeah.
would cost us even more.
I really learned like how generous this community is, whether
Yeah,
they're
that's
like
pretty cool.
throwing money at us. There wasn't like a day where somebody didn't come up to me and go, "I'd like to donate money to you," and I'm like, "What?" But like hotel rooms, people were buying. People were letting us stay in their house, cooking us food, buying us food. It was just amazing.
Yeah, that's
great.
This
Well, that's-
community is amazing.
That's 100% required to make this kind of a tour happen.
Yes.
So like, yeah, thank you to all of those people across the country because they are just amazing.
Them out there.
All
They're
of-
out there.
All of them.
All of you.
All the people on the
Guys
internet
are
over
epic.
And you guys, maybe. Maybe not. No, I'm just
I'm just going to let that hang for a few seconds.
So what was another good show that after Houston we went to New Orleans?
Yeah.
Nolans got to experience
Yeah, but
Bourbon Street. And
I just want to hit him
New
on the
Orleans
beach.
was cool,
I liked
but the
it.
show.
I want to
that
hit on.
wasn't a show. That was a meetup.
I just want to. I
It was
want to
a
hit
little
on
hectic.
the. I want to hit on the
We didn't play
beach
music.
show a little more. We didn't. I mean, I stopped that to talk about earlier stuff, but the
Yeah.
beach show in Houston was also a really last second thing.
Yeah.
The last day we were on our way over to New Orleans, and I heard from Jonathan Dietz, who was in the Houston Brony group, pretty high up, obviously. He ran a convention. Told us that there was a big event going on the weekend because he was thinking maybe that's why not a lot of people went to your show. So we're thinking, well, you think we could play that? Because we suddenly have 5 more days. So we can stay and try to do that. And ended up being one of the best nights of regardless of the rain. It ended up raining a little bit too.
Amazing,
but it was absolutely fantastic. We showed up. It was relaxing. People brought drinks that we could share.
Yeah, drinks and food.
And I've never swam in the Gulf before, but that was awesome. It was warm and amazing. Maybe not the healthiest water to swim in, but I don't know. I'm not going to think about that.
Yeah, it's pretty filthy out there.
Best not to.
I'm so jealous that you guys went to New Orleans. As a jazz player, I don't know. That's somewhere I've always
Right.
wanted to go. I saw you guys. You were like arrived in New Orleans, and I was like,
Jelly.
I'll tell you a
Did you guys
secret.
you guys went to church there, right?
Yeah, but I'll tell you a secret about the beach. It was Silverhound's first time at a beach, the ocean.
Or
At
swimming,
the ocean,
He
yeah.
never
He'd never
swam
seen
in
the
the
ocean before.
Yeah.
It's not even
It was
really
a
the
big
ocean.
deal.
It's just
The Gulf of Mexico. It's not like our
But
ocean.
you know,
Salt water.
it's close enough. The point is, he'd never been like submerged into like a coastal water.
In New Orleans,
So,
I just have this image of like
In New
dropping
Orleans-
him into the water.
we tried to see if Tarby could walk on water. Didn't work.
No.
I have picture proof. I'm sorry.
hey,
He
in
was a
New
little
Orleans,
disappointed.
did you guys go to church?
Where
Yeah.
did we? I ended up. Oh no,
Not me, but
it
Phil.
was.
didn't
It
end up
was. It
doing
ended
that?
up being really like a time crunch the whole time
We
we
have
were down there.
somebody on the tour that is very religious, and they go to church. So every Sunday or Saturday, we were looking for a church in whatever city we were in, and that was very interesting because it's hard to find a church at the last second,
If you don't know you're going to be there or not.
and then get there
and
on
then
time.
arrange to take that particular person there, and everyone, was like, okay, well, let's do
But
something while he's at church. And then,
I suggested that everybody go to church in New Orleans. I don't know if that
Because we
happened.
happened to.
Because the music would
I think
be
maybe
amazing,
I think
right?
a couple
yeah.
people might have gone, but yeah. So one of our Sundays happened to be in New Orleans.
Yeah.
This is brilliant. I really
That's what
wanted to
it
go.
blew my mind. I was like, yes, go to church. All of you go to church. That'll be amazing.
But I just ate all of their food instead. It was so. New Orleans is the
You
best
don't have
food.
to believe. You just have to listen to the music.
Instead of going to church, I ate food.
Well, that's a good.
Really
yeah, the
good.
food was the best down in the south.
I recommend New Orleans food. All of it.
Oh yeah, New
All
Orleans
everywhere.
food is good.
Yeah. I didn't go to the sandwich shop. I'm sorry.
There's an epic sandwich place there, but I don't know what it's called.
I missed it.
But they didn't go. So.
and then
And then
we went to Nashville, Tennessee.
Which was another venue that emailed me and went, "Hey, I've bought you a venue. Come here, please."
and yet again was one of our best shows.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a fun show. That was a really
Oh
good
my
show.
god. That was
So next
amazing.
year we're just gonna let Bronies buy us the venues.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
just kidding.
done with main cities, like port cities, big
Yeah.
cities, capitals. Like no. Nope.
Yeah, our best shows ended up being
Albuquerque,
smaller places.
Nashville. I think maybe even Asheville. That was a cool. That was a
Well, you didn't
that was a
play
fun
there,
one. We
though.
didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't. But I love those guys. I want to go back.
That would have been a good town to play in. Would be
Yeah.
Asheville.
I can't believe I found it when we were in Asheville, North Carolina. I found out the day we were there that Hey Ocean was playing in Charlotte, North Carolina on the Warped Tour.
Yeah, like
I'm
50
like,
miles
no,
above.
it's an hour and a half away. There's no way this is gonna work. I was so mad. That would have been
Yeah.
awesome. But that's
Like
just me.
maybe if you didn't blow the tire, you might have. Maybe you checked the tire a couple thousand miles before.
It still would have been 3 hours of gas,
You're right.
which we can't do.
No, it's a lot of gas.
It's a problem.
Yeah, so Nashville was a good show, and then where did we go after that? Atlanta, Georgia. We did the
Atlanta.
meetup at the drive.
Get back
and
down.
at the burger
Varsity,
place.
yeah. Giant fast food place. If anyone's heard of Varsity.
Oh, yeah, these
the
Bronies
largest-
organized a meetup for us in Atlanta.
I hadn't heard of it, so I didn't
and
expect a lot of Canadians to
They
know
had
what it
some
is.
cake for us, and it was good.
Yeah, they made us
Oh,
a
that was
MSQ cake that had speakers that were made out of Rice Krispie treats, a stage that was made out of Rice Krispie treats, and this like white cake that was covered like in green icing, and a little derpy figure singing on a microphone, and on our symbol, like our little logo that Bajati created, the MSQ Musiquestria logo. And this guy said he spent 30 hours making
On
that
the cake?
On
Wow.
the cake.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah. And brought it to us
Talent.
because, I mean, he's
That's
like, you guys drove all
dedication.
this way to play
Wow.
some music for us, so at least I could do is bake you a cake. You know?
Last week, Sophisto was asking me to like help vote on whatever the cake thing was going on Equestria Daily, and I didn't realize until like after the whole event, I'm like, the Musiquestria cake was really good. It probably wouldn't. It might
Yeah,
not
we
have
should have
won,
submitted
but
that one,
like
yeah.
it should have been there visually. It would be
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, it was a cool deal at least.
And then we went to Florida, Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
And you guys stayed in Florida for a bit, right?
Yeah, that was a fun show too. Playing in an outdoor arena.
Oh, it was
Oh,
awesome.
in
Except
Florida.
all of
talk about
our,
the
The thing
weather.
about Florida
all of our things fell
in
down.
the summertime is that every day it rains. Every day. And then it gets hot. Well, actually, it gets hot, and then it rains, and then it cools off. So it did that in the middle of our show, in an outdoor
show.
Yeah.
outdoor arena.
And the thing that makes it go from sunny to rainy to sunny to runny is it's also really windy.
Yeah.
Some of our gear, our lighting gear blew over, and suddenly it's like, okay, rain's starting to come down. We're in an outdoor venue, no cover, and
Yeah, I saw a picture
start covering
of
things up with
Nathan
blankets and unplugging
hiding under
everything. Yeah.
something.
Put a tarp over the mixing console.
Yeah.
and-
I think that was the first show that I played my full company like fly set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Tarby on shaker and Dylan on
singing
harmony and
background.
Jack on drums.
That was
And the-
one of the best shows.
and the clouds were rolling in
I
as
know,
you were playing it.
I
and the
loved it
wind.
so much because I started playing fly and like the wind picked up. It was during the song like lights fell down and stuff, but I had a great time.
Yeah. and
I was
sun
like
going
bringing it. It was
down.
such like an emotional song, and the wind's blowing through, and I had a great time.
So was that the one? I'm assuming that's the one where I saw this picture that you guys put up on Twitter where someone is on stage performing, and and the out in front of you there's just this massive like storm cell.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
that's
there were
coming-
some cool pictures.
Really?
From
Yeah,
that.
I had to look at it for like 10 minutes. I was like, what is going on in this picture? It's-
Yeah, we had to
we-
stop the show for about half an hour for the rain to pass
Yeah, I
by.
saw some pictures
Oh,
of you guys
man.
huddling under
Yeah.
the
the whole audience
amphitheater
come
too.
up on the stage.
But we documented like all the things we're talking about. We have some sort of either pictures or video
I've got
or
about
something.
110 videos.
Yeah,
a
but
couple
we've
hundred
all just been so
pictures,
busy since the tour, we haven't been able to compile it all into like a DVD or put it online on Tumblr or YouTube yet.
There is going to be a
But
DVD.
it will happen. It will see the light of day, hopefully fairly quickly next couple months.
Yeah, you guys recorded the shows like
Audio. We recorded all the audio.
audio.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I thought there was. No, that was just.
We
Yeah,
did
you're
do
right,
some
yeah.
video stuff, but not.
I thought there was some
wasn't a
videos-
dedicated person to do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought there was
Yeah.
a dedicated person doing video.
Yeah, we
in
never got a
Portland.
full video.
I really
shot,
wish
don't
there
think.
was.
So all that audio, those recordings are going up somewhere.
Oh yeah, I know.
Nathan's working on
I
it.
know. For me personally, I'll have a live at Nashville album, the set that I did there. 'Cause
Right.
That was my best show, and I really want to hear it. And Nathan is really good at putting this together. He took my horrible Houston recording and made it sound really good.
Wow.
I don't know how he did it.
Magic.
It wasn't me.
Friendship.
I didn't sound like that.
He used friendship.
Apparently. I think he pulled in like a godly auto-tune or something. I don't know.
Or maybe you could just admit that your voice is great.
Not
You-
that
you-
not
you
that
could,
show.
You could do that. You could do that.
My voice is amazing.
Right?
Thank you.
Amazing.
Did you guys see him at the gazebo
Oh,
there?
today wasn't good.
Or this guy at the gazebo? Or that guy at the gazebo?
Don had
This guy
a
was
great
pretty good.
show.
Oh, Don had an amazing show at the gazebo.
Don DeVore had a
Some guy
that guy.
named
Oh, yeah,
John.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I kicked ass.
You did
Yeah,
kick
Yeah,
ass.
totally. I tore it up.
Yeah.
Because I'm really good at what I
And
do.
Halos Boss, who was supposed to be here, but I don't know
Let's
where
just,
he
let's
went.
just praise each other for a while here.
Praise?
Praise.
each other?
Praise
Oh, I got
all of our amazingness for a little bit here.
I always enjoy your cover of Proud to Be a Brony.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that always makes me
good.
sing along, dude.
That was like one of my 2 good songs
Yeah.
today. My set.
Okay, everyone.
So where'd we go after that?
Jacksonville up
we
to
stayed there.
Asheville, I think was our. It was pretty much a straight shot to North Carolina to stay there,
Fire.
and then
And then Baltimore.
What we didn't
Yeah.
take into consideration, or certainly me, is
DC.
the amount of toll roads in the East.
That
Every
was
road has a
frightening.
toll in
My
the
God.
East. What is wrong with you guys in the East?
I thought you were talking to them.
Them. What is wrong with you guys? Why are you leaving? Come back. Yeah, every road had a toll road. Like, what did we spend in tolls?
Over $200 just
Yeah.
to drive from.
Just for you, right?
Yeah, just for my
Just for
vehicle.
you. So I'm
That's
sure
all.
you paid just about that much too.
And that was just New Jersey.
That was just New Jersey.
Yeah, I had calculated one of our shows, like the cost of playing at New York or something was.
Oh, ludicrous. New York. Don't,
Yeah.
'Cause of the
We're not
drive.
playing New York.
Because like
again.
we
Sorry,
had
New
we
York.
had a venue,
Never
and that's
again.
the thing. But then each car also spent like over $100 just to get there.
Yeah, and park.
Yeah, nah.
It was bad.
I knew that New York was not going to be worth it as a show
Manhattan.
to play, like the cost wise, but
I want to go play
I
like.
figured it's New
Albany.
York.
And it was low turnout, but it was.
There's got to be.
But I think the Bronies that showed up had a good time.
We should go
good.
play in Sleepy
Especially
Hollow
when
next year.
Tombstone showed up and Shenanigans.
Yeah, that was great. It ended up being a fun thing, like not a full set
Yeah,
or
lots
anything,
of
but we had.
surprise
Yeah, it was
guys.
more of a fun
And I
meetup.
love fun things.
Silly.
And then we did Boston, which we had a way shorter set for because the Middle East, which is a very popular venue in Cambridge, moved a bunch of shows around to put us in. Like that guy wanted us so bad. He was
Yeah.
like, "Please let me put you. I'm gonna move this and this other thing, and you can have like 3 hours." And I'm like, "But we have a 4.5 hour set." And he's like, "But I have 3 hours." So, and I was like, "Oh, it's the Middle East." So we did it, but everybody's sets got
Yeah, we all played like 2
considerably.
songs, one or 2
Yeah,
songs.
and we were so exhausted.
we were all
after-
so done. Like,
after
But they also
we've been on
made
the
it
road
cool
for what,
cocktails.
30 days, plus did 2 conventions.
Yeah, it was 36
I
days
mean,
in total that
about
you were on the
for a
road.
minute in itself.
Yeah.
36 days.
I calculated 48 days since I had slept in my bed.
So from
Yeah.
beginning of Everfree.
Well, I mean, I went to, I ran away
were
to Fiesta
here.
Equestria, and then
And-
I
and
came
you were
back.
Oh, for
here,
Fiesta,
right?
that's right.
Yeah, and then I didn't go back to my house.
Didn't you come
until
here?
Everfree, and then
Right.
picked myself up. And then,
You came here after Fiesta Equestria, didn't you?
No.
Oh.
I kidnapped Dietz and brought him up to Seattle.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't have a passport.
I remember.
Yeah.
And I get tired driving my car to like the grocery store. I don't know how you guys drove across the country.
Oh, I
that's
love
what-
driving, dude. I loved like traveling.
I
around.
love
Do you guys
driving.
find
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Do you
fun.
guys find that now, driving from, I don't know distances, but like,
Driving
Vancouver,
from Seattle to Portland,
to
like,
here
what?
was nothing.
yeah, just a little
Exactly.
hop,
Like a
like,
day.
oh, a 3-hour drive, nah,
This is nothing. We can do this in 3 hours.
Yeah. One of the realizations I had when we were in Houston, and we had to split our guys to 2 different locations. We were sleeping. It was about like a 30-40 minute drive.
Well, one was my parents'
between
house.
the 2. Yeah, and we were staying at Dietz' place. We had a replacer in our car, and he was going to stay at your parents' house. So I'm thinking, oh, not a problem. I'll just drop him off. And on the drive back, I realized I just drove over a half hour out of the way and then a half hour back worth of gas, because this is what you have to think about on tour.
money.
When we had room for him at the place that we were staying.
Oops.
So I'm like, why do I do that?
Yeah.
But it didn't feel long, because it's like, oh, half
yeah.
hour? Pff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's like nothing.
nothing.
Nope.
Luckily, the
Driving
spaceship was
14.
ludicrously good on gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
lit up. At night, this rental car lights up everywhere, and it looks like the dashboard of a spaceship. So we started calling it the spaceship, which got
day
shortened
one.
to the ship. Yeah.
I love
And
how
then
quickly
I kind
it
of
caught on.
like.
That's
I
great.
started calling your car the Saturn, which it
was
is.
a Saturn
I realize
V.
it is a Saturn.
Saturn V.
But I liked the spaceship was going to the Saturn or something. I don't know.
Well, the Saturn V was the rocket that took the astronauts to the moon back in
Yeah.
the 60s. So
Yeah.
that's why, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the rocket.
That was mine.
Not rocket, not a
Do
ship.
you guys have any questions? We should open
Rocket
this,
Man.
Open this up for some
Oh, at
questions.
this point,
maybe.
definitely.
Yeah.
If you have
We got
questions,
about 10 minutes
throw 'em at
left,
us.
so
It prefers to veer towards one of the other topics I mentioned before.
Anybody?
Questions
Also
about
do that.
music or what it's like to go travel on the
anything-
road and play
anything
pony
you want.
music. Cole, what's up?
First question, how's your thumb?
Oh, it's fine. I can still do this.
How was your everything?
Yeah.
We all just got destroyed.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Good question. How did BronyCAN go?
Oh, yeah, we didn't really talk about Baltimore too much. Yeah.
Wow.
We just
so our-
skipped
Right over that whole convention.
Yeah, so the actually
BronyCAN,
biggest
no big
show
deal.
of our entire tour, we had more than 60 people in attendance for the Baltimore show. It was something like 3,000.
There was about 3,000, I think, in the main room, yeah.
A little bit of a jump. So much energy. It's-
Yeah, to go
Ugh.
from like you're saying, like 20, 30 people at a gig to suddenly 3,000. You're looking across the room, you can't see the end of the crowd. It's that many
Yeah.
people.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And to get there and, like-
professional sound crew,
Yeah, we're not going to get into
And-
but
that.
full lighting, stage, and a giant crowd.
Yeah.
It was.
and
it was
you guys
absolutely
kind of
amazing.
combined and became a
We were the
whole-
equestrian band.
Like you were already a band, but then you added Austin as well.
Yeah.
And did you
I
have
brought
more
my,
than that?
I brought
or-
my cowbell.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
put on.
It was fantastic.
put on a pretty
Yeah.
good show, I think, that night. That was fun.
Yeah, my lovely Seattle locals were commenting on my profile like, "Way to go on the cowbell! Rock that show!"
Dude, people love the cowbell. People
I love-
love the cowbell.
I love the cowbell. I know the importance of the
You're
cowbell, and I
amazing
know
at
that
that.
it can easily be overdone. So I feel
Don's a
like
human cowbell. Do that again.
that was
Wow.
My
fantastic.
cow. That's my impersonation of.
Why did I
Bajani.
spend
You know what?
$15 on
It was
one?
actually way better. It was actually way better when you're doing the action. After you stopped, yep, way better, way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, tricks the brain.
That's what Bajati did in front of 3,000
Invisible
people, and
I
they
loved
yeah,
it.
because we
They
played
loved it.
equestrian band, which pretty easily obvious is American band. If you have, or Canadian band. No, that's not a thing.
We're a Canadian band.
But that's what it sounds like.
yeah.
We made it with
We
we
coming
changed.
to your town. We'll help you pony down.
Yeah, because
We're
you-
an American.
You guys did
equestrian.
full on parody lyrics.
We
of the
make pony
verses.
music.
It was
you just
fantastic.
you did Canada, and then you did equestrian, and then you did American.
I know.
It's good.
Canada,
Perfect.
Equestria,
All the
you know,
bands.
same
We
thing.
are
All
all
of
the
the
bands.
things.
All of the
Yeah,
things.
now we're-
Bonify all of the things.
Now we're Canadian
You-
bands. That was an epic show.
Don's
Then we tried
all
to
of
do
the
our
nations.
usual set. Went through not really usual. So we played a few songs of everyone's.
With Tarby.
Tarby Replacer
P1K
and
Replacer.
yeah, and Pony One Canoe were listed as performers. And we
Oh, and
just
Feather. We did a song with Feather. That was fun.
Oh, I
Tarby
must
and
have
I
been
did, yeah.
must have been freaking out because of
That
the things
was-
happening backstage.
Oh yeah.
Fun stuff.
BronyCAN
and then
was
we
happening behind the stage.
and we ended up finishing up our set with Equestria Girls, or known as the
Twilight Wins the
cafeteria
Crown.
song.
Yeah.
Which was actually ended up being, I think it was a great performance. I couldn't really hear it, but
If you listen back to
I
it
heard
on
it was
YouTube,
good.
it's pretty damn
but the
good.
crowd was so into it. Unfortunately, no one could jump
No jumping.
And no jumping allowed.
at this convention because we were like 4 floors up and everything was about to fall on their heads. But we kept the energy up regardless. Got everyone clapping in the right
I
times.
like that we were allowed to jump in the Red Coach restaurant, but not in
Yeah.
BronyCAN.
That's
in a
my
hotel.
favorite thing.
A tiny little like mom and pop restaurant.
Yeah.
You know? But
But then after we jumped, they were like, "No more jump.
No more jumping.
no.
Next time, it was fine this time.
Like, is that the
Next time-
ceiling bending?
Yeah.
Oh well,
My
I
husband-
still want a milkshake.
Literally feel the floor shaking with 3,000 people jumping in the convention center.
I just loved that Kim said
It was
to
a
me,
little bit scary.
I'm kind of sad that I
My
didn't go there for the
husband is
first
60,
night because I
you know.
missed that completely.
God.
Oh, the first shows.
When the floor was like going ridiculously crazy. It was like Twitter exploded, and I was dead to the world somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Anybody else got a question?
So taxing.
In the room? Anybody? Questions? Questions?
What's your
Questions about
question,
music?
sir?
I will take Michael's question. Excuse me, sir. What's your name? Hey, what? Would you like to ask a question?
It better be good.
And I forgot it, but I'll ask one right off the bat.
Do it.
How did all of you guys meet each other?
I volunteered for Everfree Northwest once I heard about it, and as the AV lead, and said, I know how to do sound because I've done this for 20 years. I can make these bronies sound good. And I basically went to a meetup and a staff volunteer meeting, and Bajati had already been, organizing Everfree Northwest.
I volunteered for Everfree Northwest when I created it.
Yeah, and then when he created it, right? So that's how I met Bajati, and I just met
Sax Brony just from playing with other people around
Oh, yeah.
the Seattle area. So.
Yeah, I kind of I got to know Tar because he was local, and he was basically kind of the gateway to everyone else, and also Tumblr. Tumblr helped out a lot with that. Just reblogged and liked a lot of my favorite musicians' stuff, and then they were like, "Oh, okay, I'll follow you back," and I was like, "I've gotcha."
yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
I've known Bajati for like 5 years or something.
And you're good at organizing, managing things.
And I'm a manager. So
Well, you've done music events before. So
Austin was
that
like, "Hey,
helped
do you
out
want
a
to do
bit.
this?" And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. Honestly, though, I mean, she did freaking amazing work. A cross-country road trip in like a month is very, very. It shouldn't have happened. It really shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. So
So yeah, there were plenty of road bumps, but
I tried to start organizing the tour in January. Everybody else tried to start organizing it maybe like April.
I didn't even get invited till April.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it wasn't
After I
really.
went to the
Exactly.
It was a
So
slow roll.
We were slow at the beginning and then very fast in the couple days up to when we were leaving.
I'm amazed
Literally
we
a
found a
couple
rental
days.
car the day that we were going. Like the day before we
30%,
left.
at least 30% of the entire event was planned in the 2 or 3 days before we left.
like, hey, buy bus tickets to Portland in 2 days.
Yes.
Hey, let's get a rental car and a trailer hitch and all kinds of stuff.
In one day.
Oh, jeez.
But one of the things
we
that
made it work.
One of the things that still
We did.
blows my mind is back to like how we all met and stuff. I've known Don, Tarby, Pokemon Kenobi. I think that was really it. Of course, Austin, but that's whatever. We're friends for a long time.
Whatever.
But of the musicians, yeah, you don't matter.
That's fine. I've
I
accepted that.
I had met them, but I'd still probably call them all acquaintances or like almost friends. Because like we pulled you in for like business stuff, we never hung out, we never talked or
Right,
anything.
yeah.
But then through this tour, I can't flip my brain back because I feel like I've known you guys for years.
Yeah,
like you're
I
my
know.
all of you are my best friends, and I can't imagine a time that I didn't know Fenning, but I met him on the tour. Or like
Yeah.
Replacer, I didn't know what he looked like at Everfree.
But
I
you
think
spent
Tarby's like
that
much
Replacer's over there. I'm like, which one?
We couldn't find Replacer because we didn't know what he looked like. Who's Replacer? Who's Replacer?
Yeah, when
I
we
don't
first
know.
were meeting up at
who's he?
Everfree, yeah.
And then I thought, like, I'll just listen for
Yeah,
a New
exactly. I was trying not to
Zealander,
embarrass
but
myself.
he doesn't
No,
talk.
he's so quiet.
So we couldn't
He was so
find
quiet.
him.
Like, I'll just wait for the Kiwi accent. Nope.
No, not there.
He must have left.
He's gone.
He was fun to work with. He him and Pokemon Kenobi pulled me up for a song of his that had a baritone sax thing in the background, and man, he knows exactly what he wants.
Oh yeah, let your main down. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it was.
no. It was Pony Rock.
Oh, that's
on
right,
that
Pony
blues
Rock.
one, and yeah, most people. Yeah, and most people when they bring you up to play their stuff, they're like, "Oh yeah, this is what you do, and you have fun with it." He was very exact and like precise about how he wanted me to play it and the rhythm and everything like that, which I honestly I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
he's
I like
very
that.
decisive for a person who's so quiet.
Yeah, like he knew exactly what he wanted, which is
He's
kind
really
of a
like
refreshing
one of those
thing.
kind of musical genius guys.
No, the other thing
Yeah,
about
he's super
Replacer,
good at music.
the other thing about Replacer is he doesn't talk a lot, but when he does talk, it's golden. Like when
it's
he
the
makes
best.
a joke, it's hilarious. Like I just don't know how he stays so quiet. Like when I make jokes, I make a lot of jokes, and then some of them land, and some of them are really bad. He just opens his mouth, and it's funny.
See,
Yeah.
I don't know
I
him
can't
quite
think
as
of
well
any
as you
good
guys. So to imagine him telling a joke for me is a little bit hard to.
It's more
trying
like
to
dark
imagine.
sarcasm.
Okay, yeah. That
Sarcasm detected.
that maybe
Yeah.
I can see.
Yeah.
I can't think of a Replacer joke. Well, I can think of two, but they're like just above the whole PG rating.
Yeah, I don't
that-
think we should tell either.
Oh,
of
well, there
those.
was the whole
No,
thing
you're
about
thinking of the two. They're the most memorable ones, but
Is
My
is
most
the
memorable
silver
one was his friends
Is the silver
from-
one appropriate?
Silver. No.
No, okay.
well, his friends from Australia and New Zealand were texting him and sending a message on Twitter. Good luck in America. Don't get shot.
Actually,
And then at the end of it, it was like, we
a
didn't
bad
get
gauge, it
shot.
might be.
We went all the way through
don't know.
America. Didn't get shot.
Golden. Absolutely golden.
You know, because guns.
America has guns.
America.
Hey, Sir Sax Brony. So after you played like on a Replacer set, did my set makes more sense? The fact that I had never performed before, I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't care.
Oh,
just,
yeah.
just,
Just play what you want.
Yeah,
Just
no,
play.
no, I like both. There's good things about both.
yeah. I'm like, here's the chord progression. You have 8 bars, or if you want more, you just keep going.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
that's enough.
We'll just nod at each other. It'll just be like an open jam.
Right, yeah, and it worked out pretty well for the most
Yeah, it
part.
was really good.
I felt a little bit lost on your song. There was like, I was like, are we
the
ending?
jazzy
ending?
one?
What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
The problem is whenever I accompany people and they look at me, they're like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to play there. Like, I sang the wrong note. I'm like,
Do what you want,
I don't-
man. It's your song too.
yeah, like you're up here. It's you know, we're
yeah,
sharing
and
this.
there's something about that whole kind of environment. You know, it's just it's a lot casual. You know,
Yeah.
it's like just as long as it sounds good and like it was supposed to happen, then you know whatever.
Well, you know the trick about when you play a wrong note, play it again as soon as
Yeah.
possible.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's not
Yeah.
a wrong
Make
note
it
anymore.
make it intentional.
and
Yeah,
then
make
play it
it
again with a good
accidental.
rhythm, and then like bend it up back to where it should
Exactly.
yeah.
That's how you fix it.
It's
Do you guys
tension creation. You
do you
know?
guys have one more question
tip.
out there? Because we're about to stop talking to you.
Yeah. Any
What is
other
it?
questions or?
Is it true you guys measure on the Richter scale?
Yes.
Yes.
There was
In
during
Seattle.
Pony Stock during Everfree.
1.0.
There was a
1.0.
earthquake registered during the EDM
They jumped so hard.
set. Yes, because so many people jumping at the Hilton.
Hey,
along
back
with the
there, you got a
subwoofers and the-
question.
It was epic. That was for real. We didn't come
haters.
across any haters, but we did come across some people like when you'd stop at like a gas station or a truck stop in Mississippi and you're dressed like a brony and you got
Yeah.
all this fingernails and
Pink
ears on and
and-
stuff, and people
yeah.
kind of look at you like, "What in the hell are you supposed to be?" Boy? And
Yeah.
I'm like, "What? I'm into ponies, man. What's up?"
Yeah, no
Or
haters,
They'd
but we-
see ears on me and they're like, "Oh, you got your horns on. Hook 'em horns." It's a Texas thing. I was like, "No, those are my ears. They help me hear better." So,
Yeah, not a lot of haters.
but no,
but
we didn't
did-
really get any haters. We'd get weird looks from people, and I actually enjoy that kind of thing. So that's fine.
It means you're doing it right.
Yeah, you're doing
Yeah, we
something
didn't run
right.
into
You're
any
drawing
Christian
attention to
protesters
yourself.
at all, no.
I
Sorry
remember
to disappoint you.
I like to troll some of the gas stations in the South have like pony coloring books in them. So I like to troll them by taking all of the pony coloring books and dispersing them around the gas station. And I think we were outside of Dallas and I did this.
Oh, yeah,
I
that
forgot
was
what it
funny.
was called. And there was only 3 coloring books, but it was the one with like the Applejack just like on the cover. It's perfect. So I took one, I put it in the chips aisle. I put one in an empty box of honey buns. Which
made it look like it came out like this. Like
yeah, it was fantastic. Like it was,
And-
like I don't even know what honey buns are, but it fit perfectly in the
like
box.
cinnamon rolls, yeah.
right.
And then the third one I was trying to find, and then I looked over in the little produce section of the gas station, and I stuck it right behind the apples. It was, and I have pictures of
Perfect.
the stuff too, so it will
perfect.
join up.
Perfect. They're on the Twitter, right?
I did tweet them, but I don't
tweeted
know.
them,
It's
I
hard
saw
to
them,
it's
so-
hard to find old pictures.
I
Oh,
They're
have to
brilliant.
go to find these now.
Right.
yeah, it was the best.
I think we're done here.
We're over time.
Does anybody have anything to say before we get up and walk into the room awkwardly?
We are planning to do a tour again to some extent this next year.
Maybe smaller?
It might be regional. There might be 2 regional.
I don't like the East Coast anymore. It's expensive.
If we get $40,000, then we will maybe do a cross country one again.
We'll do this exact thing, but better.
And a lot better and more prepared. And we're gonna start now. Right?
I'd like to.
Right now.
Right now, I'm
All right,
trying to
where do
wrap
you-
up. I'm trying to wrap up this year first, and wrap up winter, and then once I do those two things,
All right, let's play Seattle.
Then
Planning started.
we're doing it. Seattle,
yeah, Seattle.
Portland, San Francisco. No,
SF
day
was-
between.
SF
This
was
sounds
pretty
familiar.
Rick.
LA.
Make sure to go up
maybe?
to Chicago. And we
On the way back.
Well, let's do San Francisco, Chicago.
Yeah, but yeah, keep an eye out on all of our. We
No,
have
just
we
go in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
Alabama,
Albuquerque,
Arkansas.
most efficient tour in the world.
Yeah. Alaska.
So keep an eye on
That means
our,
we're stopping in
I'm actually trying to wrap it
Vancouver
up a
if
little
there's
bit.
an Alaska.
I do really do have to run. So keep
Yeah,
an
we
eye
gotta go.
on our Twitter, Facebook, Tumblrs. We have multiple, I guess. We will hopefully get a little more activity on those and start.
All of our things are Musiquestria at that thing.
Yeah, if you know how to spell it, then it's pretty easy to find them from there. If you
I
don't,
learned how to spell it. It's spelled M-U-S-I-C backspace Q-U-E-S-T-I.
because there's no
C.
I always put the C in and then have to backspace. I'm like, oh, crap.
I get it.
Yeah, backspace.
Yeah, there's no
delete.
C in it.
C.
Yeah, so we'll get news out. We'll try to hit all the
Musiquestria.
awesome pony media when we have more information. And we'll hopefully have a wrap up post up there fairly soon. Yeah, I hope.
Soon.
Fairly soon.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to the panel. Unless there's
Yes.
anything else to add.
Thank you.
And yeah, thanks for supporting the tour in any way that you have or that you will in the future. We love you guys.
Thanks, guys.
No, you.
No,
No, you.
No, you. Really, really. You.
Really though.